Hello everybody, hope you're doing really well. Today we are doing one of the most straightforward videos I think we could ever do on Phoenix history when it comes to World War II. And the reason for that is because loads of you have probably explored these. These are pillboxes. More importantly, this is a Type 24 pillbox, one of the most common ones you can see, especially in Sussex/Kent. So what are we waiting for? Let's go check it out and let's talk about the history and the purpose of the Type 24 pillbox. Come on, I think you're going to like this. Right everybody, so we're now at the entrance of our Type 24 pillbox, one of the most common designs that you can have. I really wanted to try and find one within a local vicinity of me that I could obviously film and document to obviously talk about Type 24, and we're in Ashurst today. Ashurst train station is literally across from us, and the reason why this was also a really good one for us to do is there's another one literally within a stone's throw. River Medway at the moment is currently flooded. As you can hear the rushing water and probably see it. This pillbox is slightly flooded, but it's okay. But more importantly, the condition actually is in really good condition. Now, before we actually go in, I just want to talk about the two different types of 24 that you had. We're calling them an FW3 Type 24. FW3, which you might see if you're, depending on how much of an enthusiast you are, meant fortification works through. It was part of the War Office, and their job was basically to help and construct, design, etc, etc. I'm talking layman's terms here, so please forgive me on that. There's two different types. One is your standard Type 24 pillbox, which this isn't. This is the other version, which is called a shell-proof Type 24 pillbox, or what most people refer to actually as a thick-walled Type 24 pillbox. That is because, for very obvious reason, it is a thick wall pillbox. We'll talk about that when we're in there. The idea was it would have held Bren machine guns or Lewis, again, depending on their version. But with these thick-walled or shell-proof ones, the purpose was really to stop it. Small arms fire wouldn't be able to penetrate this, and within reason, shells, depending on their size. I mean, I always debate this really of how important their use were, but really, although it was thicker, it didn't necessarily mean that it would protect you from anything above small arms fire. But let's take a look inside and let's explore it. Come on. So, welcome inside the Type 24. Believe it or not, this is actually in really good condition. It's flooded at the moment, but however, with Wellingtons it's okay. There's rubbish as well, but we'll ignore that on the floor. So this is a shell-proof Type 24. One of the bigger giveaways, the difference between this and the standard Type 24 is this. These stagings here for the guns. If it was a standard Type 24, these would be on shelves rather than built in to the holding itself. So in other words, you would have a shelf. We've seen them actually on other pillboxes that I have explored in different types, where you get shelving, it comes out. These though are moulded into the pillbox itself, which makes it really interesting. They're not unique by any means, but they are very specific to the Sussex area in terms of obviously condition, etc, etc. There's loads that are in really amazing condition. And unlike other certain pillboxes, this is solid concrete that you can see on this. You can see the layering of the slabs of the concrete that have been taken into this. And obviously, because these are heavy, they can hold up to some light arms, but mostly we're talking like Bren guns and Lewis machine guns, which would be standard in most pillboxes. However, if it was an original Type 24, standard one, not necessarily all the case, by the way, you would find that mostly it might be rifles that would probably be used more than actual machine guns or light guns. But it's fascinating to talk about that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you around, and then we're going to talk one final bit of information on these. I think it's really interesting that we illuminate the different types of these, and it's great that we try and get to finally document this. So this is, like I said, a shell-proof or thick-walled Type 24. Let's take a look around. Come on. Okay, so welcome properly into our Type 24. So, or a shell-proof or thick-walled one. This was part of what was labelled as the New Haven to Penshurst part of the stop line. Again, this was a huge network of pillboxes of various different sorts, nodal points, etc., etc. Basically, the idea was to slow down the German advance should their main goal be heading into London if they'd done a seaborne invasion from the Sussex, Kent, or even Hampshire coast, depending. So these pillboxes would have been vital, really, in terms of just slowing down that advance, so that we could, in theory, gather resources through into London and obviously go from there. In theory, that's a basic premise. Please understand that. But here we are inside, and it's really well kept. It's a shame that there's a lot of litter, and it is really relatively dark. If I turn this off, you can see how dark this actually would have been. Now, it's a typical design, but it's incredible in the way that it is. It's, like I said, it is in actually really good condition, believe it or not. I know some of you might be sort of going, really? But no, just trust me on this one. As conditions go, it was one that I genuinely chose because I felt about it. Obviously, there's lots of rubbish and it's been used as rubbish, but for the actual condition of it outside is brilliant. And for this type of pillbox, even more important. Obviously, you can see where the guns would have been mounted, and that's really what gives us that idea of looking through. And obviously, we know that there's various different types of pillbox around here. From Type 28s through to these Type 24s, and most of them are sort of like variants, can be variants within variants, basically. But I find it fascinating, and it's something really that should have been long overdue on the channel. I will be doing a very special video at some point on the history of pillboxes in general and how they were built, etc. But for now, I just thought I'd talk about individual pillboxes. Like I said, in this case, the Type 24. The Type 24 shell-proof or thick-walled one. So I know loads of you out there. It's like a route into exploring with pillboxes, because it's just a really handy one to sort of like go through and to try and do. It's just a really basic sort of like, you know, hey, look, we can go into a pillbox, and that gives us the exploring bug for us to sort of get into it. But really, really cool. I know like I said, there are better condition ones, but I was trying to look for ones that were relative to me. You can imagine holding those Lewis and Bren guns in there with a great line of fire. So yeah, let's head out, and we're pretty much done. Come on. Okay everybody, so just to put everything finally in context just for everyone, this is another Type 24 shell-proof design, exactly the same as the one, and we are literally not even a stone's throw away from the other one. The main reason why this was so heavily fortified was because it was guarding the River Medway and the railway line itself as well. Unfortunately, as you can probably tell, this one is severely flooded. Which is a shame, but it's understandable. The river has burst its banks. Also, if you come with me, I just want to show you this other one to put it into context. Through the farmer's field here, if you can see, or no, it's going to be very difficult, but through those trees, there's another one through there that you can see through the open field. Hopefully it's coming through the camera just about, but I think it's just through there. So again, and then we're not too far away from our Type 28, which is across there in Ashurst, and there's a couple more Type 24s, and then it goes in again with Type 28, etc. So there we go. Really hope you enjoyed that. It was pretty cool, wasn't it, really, let's be honest. And yeah, let's call it there. Right, see ya.